Alright, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you throw off my intro? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NBA YouCast. And of course, when I make a New Year's resolution, it was bound to fail. A late episode, but for good reason. I was doing college stuff.
And he's losing weight.
I screwed it over. And also, the goal I made last week on the show was I'm going to do a show for every week this year. And I was kind of stupid not realizing, because I'm a huge wrestling fan, and that's every week of every year. Basketball takes a break. So unless I'm going to be talking about, like, business decisions, that would not have been a good way. But anyway.
Maybe there's, like, D-League or Canada League or Australia League.
WNBA is what I could have covered, I suppose.
Jazz.
Junior Jazz. I would have covered Junior Jazz. I think Junior Jazz starts winter, right?
Yeah.
So it runs around the same thing.
Church ball.
I screwed up church ball. Oh, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's your starting five for the day. Number one, of course, Stuart Scott Passes Away. I'm going to talk a little bit about this because he is kind of what I aspire to be, and that is somebody who likes to talk about stuff for a living and get paid for it. So he's kind of like a pioneer of what I do. So, and I didn't really know this guy much. I've not been into sports, but I think it's important to talk about. He's kind of like a pioneer, I guess. So, and it's kind of sad. It is really unfortunate.
Yeah,
he was pretty young, but yeah. So that's number one. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Hawks being for sale. I just read an interesting article on that, and there's like a lot of racism going on over there. So that'll be interesting. 3, the Knicks trade Smith and Shumpert to the Cavs for who did they give away? I don't remember that deal.
Number 23 now.
I've got it pulled up for waiters.
Yeah.
So it must have been the 3-way deal. Okay. And then of course 4, a returning segment. One of my favorite things to come from this show so far, STREAKERZ. Because this year it's just so fun. I know, right? The play on words. It's so fun to see who is streaking in the NBA.
Don't look at his browser history.
So we've got the winners and the losers with Z's because I want to not be the same. I want to be unique. And then number 5, Mozgov goes to the Cavs. And why is that such a good pickup? And I was going to do this well before watching Inside the NBA, so I'm not just copying them. So don't yell at me. Okay. Joined with me today is from the Titan Trust channel, Titan Panda, who is now the artist formerly known as Titan Panda. He is now Titan Depressed Panda.
Oh, I have to be yeah. Yeah, whatever.
You're just so sad? Why are you sad?
Life is hard.
Would it have anything to do with that huge buzzer-beating shot by Booker and an amazing game by the Jazz only to be taken away by that evil man and nickname of a Durantula, and the Oklahoma City Thunder?
No, see, I'm more upset about Russell or Westbrook.
Oh, okay. Russell or Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
I was trying to think of I gotta be depressed. I was trying to think of like a bad nickname for him, but whatever. Okay.
Bitter Mikey. Bitter Panda. Okay, so there's your starting 5, and then of course we'll have our Jesters. Oh, you know what? Never mind. We won't have Royals or Jesters because I didn't think of that, and I didn't. But whatever. We'll think of stuff off of our head. It'll probably mostly Jazz stuff because I didn't have much time for NBA this week. So here we go. First news article. Stuart Scott, a dedicated family man, one of ESPN's signature Sports Center anchors, has died after a courageous and inspiring battle with cancer. He was 49. One of the quotes people keep saying is, he always said cooler than the other side of the pillow. And I was like, oh, that's a good call. That's nice. But then, like, it's like, oh, stop saying it. It's like so many people, even the wrestling commentators said he was famous for saying cooler than the other side of the pillow. I was like, come on, Booker T. Really? Did you really know who Stuart Scott was? Maybe you did. But did you... Or did you read this NBA article?
Actually, Family Guy does a little bit on it too.
On
way before he passed away.
Oh, well, no, I know the joke. The joke. But he would go, oh, look at that shot. That's cooler than the other side of the pillow. Like, yeah, like it's a famous joke, but that was like his line, you know. So yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I think he has much more inspiring lines than that. But whatever, that's what most people are saying, and everyone who wants to say something says it.
Hashtag.
NBA commissioner says on Twitter, our deepest condolences to Stuart Scott's family and colleagues at ESPN. I hardly ever tweet without a hashtag.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's very odd.
But there's a basketball, whatever that's called. Emoji.
Oh, there's a little emoji there. You guys can't see that. Go to NBA.com and read the article. Stuart Scott, ESPN anchor, was a friend to the NBA. I picked the wrong one. Shoot. There was another one that I'm sure had more details about his life and stuff. We lost one of the NBA's most beloved commentators and reporters, as well as a friend to so many of us at the NBA. That goes back to the other stories. And then there's a basketball emoji there.
Yeah,
or
cute.
Kind of an orange, I guess. But anywho, so yeah, it's very unfortunate. That's kind of sad because I didn't really know this guy too much, and I wasn't really sad when he died. But then hearing his story, I was a little upset. Craig Sager. I was talking to Titan Panda about Craig Sager the other day, and I couldn't remember his name. I remembered his name because I just read the article about it, and he has a really inspirational story too. So that's why I'm bringing this up, because if I'm talking about Craig Sager, I should talk about Stuart Scott as well. And interestingly enough, he kind of did in a professional manner what I do on a novice manner here on YouTube. A hobby is what I do for my hobby. So yeah, I felt like I needed to say something about it. Also, not much else happened in the NBA this week. So here we go, number 2 on the lineup. Let me just get rid of that. Can I exit? Is there a way to exit this thing? I'm using the Xbox One internet app, so I'm trying to figure out how I can just do this nice. I'll just click the next one, have all the apps up. This one is really, really interesting. Number 2, Hawks for sale. All right, look how big this article is. Do you see that? I thought that it was just going to be about the people doing it. They go into the history of the people, who's buying it.
I'm sure.
So I'm glad I read through this before. So Grant Hill and Junior Bridgman have put a joint bid together, and they're also going to get they're going to get not Bismarck Biyombo. Who am I thinking of? Mutombo. Mutombo. Is that the no? So they might try to all get together and buy the Hawks team. But very interesting coming out of this article, I think, by David Aldridge, the guy who gets bullied by Popovich, penniless Popovich of the Spurs. That's my nickname for him. He still has that beard going. He's penniless Popovich for now.
Better nickname than I have.
You came up with that. I said I need a P word that is synonymous with homeless or poor. And you said penniless, and I was like, perfect. Penniless Popovich. Oh, that's horrible. So here we go. Former NBA players Grant Hill and Junior Bridgman have put a joint bid together to purchase the NBA's Atlanta Hawks, a group that will also include former Phoenix Suns owner Jerry Colangelo and his son, former Suns and Raptors GM Brian Colangelo. And those two have been GMs of multiple other places, as they said, Phoenix and up in Toronto as well, and they did an okay job there. So I have no doubt that they would do an okay job here. They go into Hill's history. Oh, I thought you were laughing at something. No. You were about to spit your drink out. Hill, insider stuff, whatever. But this is interesting. His partner, Bridgman, who was a Bucks star in the 70s and 80s, has become the most financially successful former player ever, owning nearly 200 Wendy's restaurants around the country, as well as 125 chili restaurants, 45 Fannie Mae chocolate stores. I don't even know what that is. And other businesses. They can just sweep it under the rug there.
More than 9,000.
9,000 people. Net worth $250 to $400 million.
That's what I saw.
Dollars. My goodness, this guy made a life after the NBA. So he wanted the Bucks. That didn't work out. So now he wants the Hawks. So it goes into that. That history was really interesting. And then there's one thing else I wanted to talk about in this thing. Down here, I kept doing it, and look at this. So the team's owners had been in flux since majority owner Bruce Levinson. You know what that is. You watched Arrow, right?
Yeah.
Where you own 51% of the stock. You're majority owner.
Right.
Right. So share or whatever. So Bruce Levinson announced last summer that he would be selling his stake in the team in the wake of an internal investigation that unearthed a 2012 email from Levinson to general manager Danny Ferry. In this email, Levinson bemoaned that's a strange word. Bemoaned the lack of white middle-class fans to Hawks games, listing several racially tinged reasonings that he believed explain their lack of interest in coming to see the team.
Oh, come on, it's an email.
So, first of all, I don't know the white to black ratio in Atlanta, but
black people win.
Would you be scared to go to a game?
Absolutely not.
Honestly,
Rick Grimes is gonna be there as long as I got Rick.
Yeah. I feel like, okay, so here's the deal. If I were a white guy in Atlanta, I would just go to a Hawk game, but I would never, ever, ever wear another jersey other than a Hawks jersey. And I would do that almost anywhere. Here in Utah, if you come in any other jersey, you will be assaulted verbally or mentally by the bear. So, I mean, it's at any other game. As long as you're cool with the people and you're having a good time, I see no reason why you should be scared to go to these games. But anyway, the majority owner bemoaned the GM for saying some pretty nasty stuff in an email. It goes further, though. This is pretty insulting. The internal investigation was launched after a second incident last June in which Ferry, in a meeting with senior management and some of the other co-owners before the start of free agency, quoted a dossier that said rising free agent forward Luol Deng had a little African in him, a slur that supposedly meant Deng was two-faced. What the fuck? What? This dude.
You can't say stuff like that.
Did he not learn from Donald Sterling? And was it a joking? I want to be the fly on the wall in that room.
See, this is going to turn into one of those Andrew Weiner things. Remember the congressman?
Yeah.
And they get there, it was just a joke. I thought it'd be funny. Guarantee you're going to hear something like that. And that's what it is. I mean, come on. Everyone's racist. Okay, not everyone, but a lot of people say stuff like that. A little African in him, that's not even that bad. But because he's a professional and should keep his speech professional.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that's a little harsh. What does he mean by African?
Yeah, if it is really referring Africans to a two-faced person, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
So I don't know. I do.
Well,
think
maybe
it's bad.
okay, never mind. I was saying.
Yeah.
He jump high. He's stronger. He's better. Come on, look.
I
grew up in Utah. Derek grew up in Utah. We don't see very many African American people, so we're a little on the outside with the whole Atlanta thing. But we can give our opinion.
I would say, in Atlanta, that's probably a harsh thing. I'd say that's a harsh thing anywhere. But that is still out of context. That's what I was saying. I want to be out the fly on the wall to see if it was a joke. I'm a huge comedian fan. No joke is too harsh to be said, ever. But the way you deliver it is how it should be done. The way you deliver it is how it should be done. And I've always said this, and I'm going to say it now. I forgot the joke. Shoot. It was a 9/11 joke. But the moniker of 9/11 is, you said you'd never forget. I think it's a knock-knock. So you go, knock-knock. Who's there? 9/11. Who? You said you'd never forget. And that was a good joke because of the moniker, we will never forget. And you said you'd never forget. And that's a good joke, and that's fine. That's totally fine. It was about 9/11. And I heard that 4 years ago. So, but this one is racist. So that's why I said I want to be a fly on the wall, and I want to hear, was it a joke? Was he serious? Was he going, wow, dang, he's got a little African in him? Was it I'm impressed?
Matt Harper, pass on the ground.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Or was it, he's got a little African in it? Or was it, it's all about tone. And the only thing I can say is it was a racist remark is because this guy, Michael Jaron Jr., was furious and demanded that he be fired. So it must have been something that did not go right.
Yeah, obviously.
So he took an extended leave of absence. So now they're selling the team. I just found that interesting. I did not know that happened.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see some of the inner workings of these teams and what happens.
Ferguson just got gasoline thrown on the fire if they read that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, this is the stuff that you don't hear about unless it's in conjunction with one of those CNN stories.
I don't even know if you can put that on TV and it'll probably blow up.
Yeah. He definitely would have been fired from the Atlanta team for saying something like that. So I don't know. I didn't hear about it until just now when I read it. So it looks like Hill Bridgman, it says Chris Webber is interested. He's a TNT analyst. Dikembe Mutombo.
Analyst.
No. Oh, I guess that's right too. Analyst and analysis. Did I say analysis?
It's okay. Let's keep going.
That's wrong. He's right. Analyst, not analysis.
Look, I just read the screen.
No, you're good. I totally did say that wrong. Yeah, so team was ultimately sold to Microsoft co-founder. Let's see. In addition to former Grizzlies and Kings executive Jason Levine is putting a group together that could include the financial backing of Steve Kaplan, a principal and co-founder of Oak Tree Capital, which was Hill's partner last year to try to buy the Clippers. The Kaplan Hill Group bid $1.2 billion for the team, but the team was ultimately sold to Microsoft co-founder Steve Ballmer for $2 million. Was that
$2 billion?
Was that the Clipper deal last year?
I think so. That is just like can you fathom $2 billion?
No. But, like, if I had the money, I probably would buy a business. And I'd buy the Jazz for sure. I would get in there and I would slap some people. I'd slap some people. That's what I would do. So, that was just an interesting article. It goes through a lot of the history of the GMs. And, of course, you guys know I'm doing a GM mode. It's debuting in a little less than a week. It'll probably debut next Friday or something like that. I'm 3 episodes in. I'm going to record a 4th. So it's already that far in. This is interesting to me now, whereas before it probably would not have been. So I'm trying to get back into a little bit more of this stuff. And David Aldridge, he does his homework, man. He went through every single one of these people, dug up their history, and put it in a well-written article. So I feel bad for you when you get bullied by Penniless Popovich. Poor guy. But he's good. He's a good writer. So check his stuff out on NBA.com because that's where I'm getting all this stuff. Let's see, where should we go next? STREAKERZ? No, let's do the trades. We'll end with STREAKERZ, then we'll do Jesters and Royals. It's King's Court podcast, or YouCast. So
okay.
I have to have a cool little, like, King's Court.
Oh, goodness.
Mozgov. That dude. He's a creepy looking feller. That's what we would have said. And we would have been demanded to be fired.
He must
creepy.
Have a little bit in there.
He must have a little Frankenstein in him. Yeah, he is a creepy looking dude though. Look at that. That's frightening. Okay, so here's the deal. I was going to highlight this trade mostly because there wasn't a whole lot going on in the NBA but trades. So I wanted to pick and choose the trades I thought were going to be interesting. And what I thought was interesting was the Cavaliers trading some of their assets away for other assets. It's like it's interesting because usually trades happen where both teams work out and it works. This trade was more like,
unless you're the Utah Jazz.
Yeah. This trade was more like, let's see, they gave away 2 first-round draft picks for Timothy Mozgov. It's like they want to win this year, which is what I respect and love. But the other thing is, when you do that, you throw off team chemistry, and you have to rebuild that. And Mozgov is going to have to start learning to play with LeBron James, learning to play with Kyrie Irving, and play second fiddle to Kevin Love. So he's going to have to learn a lot before he starts to be a pretty all-star player. And he's on my fantasy team. So I hope he does well. But
I doubt it.
Point-wise, I doubt it. So just get those rebounds there, Mozgov.
7 and 35.
I hope he goes like 2 and 3 every game, because that's a 66% field goal percentage, and if he does that consistently, that'll help me out. Oh, well, yeah, but he was like on the free agent list, so I dropped Spencer Hawes when he wasn't playing at all for him. So I've had him for a little while. He does a good job. He does a really good job. It's a good pickup. You probably don't even barely know this guy, but
nope.
He's a good pickup. He's
Timofey.
Fine. Timofey.
There should be a TH there for Timothy. But
Timofey. He's a European.
Yeah, my parents don't know how to spell name.
Oh, is he Russian? He's probably Russian.
No.
Let's see. I bet he's Russian. We can go back, I think. Let's go. I want to see if he's Russian. If he's Russian, you have no reason to bully him. You have no reason to bully him if he's Russian. Oh.
Yeah, I do.
Oh my goodness.
One big old reason. Rusev. and Lana.
Oh.
They have spoiled the name.
Let's see. Well, okay, this isn't...
Previous season, my goodness, international experience.
Personal.
Russian national team, yeah, he's Russian.
Yes, okay, Mozgov, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, perfect. So, yeah, he's Russian, and his name's fine. His name's fine. At least it's not in all caps, like their language seems to be, and angry yelling all the time. But, so yeah, Mozgov being a part of the Cavs is almost like, and this is kind of how they put it on Inside the NBA, the final piece for them, a big man down low that can get rebounds. Because Kevin Love is a great pickup, but you also need another guy there to do it. And Anderson Varejao, as they say in the article on NBA.com, is out. He's gone for the season. And Charles Barkley said some stuff. He was like, they were saying, okay, well, Varejao can come back next season and they can be a great team. And Chuck was like, Anderson Varejao, Mozgov, yeah, he's a good player. And I was like, I can agree with that, because Varejao hasn't always been like a star, but neither is this guy. So,
yeah, when you tear
I don't
your
know.
Achilles tendon,
Charles Barkley has some issues with centers that don't play consistently. He hates Cousins. He's not a fan of Blake Griffin because he doesn't feel like Griffin is doing everything he can. So this is another one of those guys, Anderson Varejao, that he just doesn't really like. What about David Blatt, that big-nosed dude? He is a European coach. Because that's the only reason you would recognize him.
Pinocchio?
So yeah, because we joke about this all the time on a LeBron team. Is LeBron the coach? Like Kobe. Is Kobe the coach of the Lakers, or is this guy? So...
Well, when LeBron played for the Heat, for sure, LeBron was their coach.
So, well, this is interesting. Mozgov played for Cavs coach David Blatt on the Russian national team. So maybe he'll be, like, really easy to integrate into the system. If it's Blatt's true system and not LeBron's. So it should be interesting. So this is LeBron. Oh, no, this is Dave Griffin. We got 3 guys in the top 20. It should be flashy. We need guys that do the dirt work. Whoa.
Skew your vision, and kind of looks like Messi in 20 years.
Yeah.
Messi,
all Europeans.
Messi. See?
All Europeans look alike. I swear. Every single one of them. The trade for Mozgov.
Stop while you're ahead.
And I think this is going to kind of go into the fourth category, too, of the Knicks trade, because it does talk about it a little bit here. Let's see, the Cavs dealt guard Dion Waiters to the Thunder, which we just watched play on the Thunder, and he did a damn good job. No real integration needed for that.
That was crazy for his first game.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know if it was his first game.
Wow.
But very...
No, because they did.
First of few. Was it his first?
Yeah, it was his first game. It's the first shot on the court he made is a freaking three-pointer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, to the Thunder and acquired guards J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert. You know who Iman Shumpert is, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Like 3 years ago, I think he was the dude in the March Madness thing who snapped his leg in half.
Yes.
Remember that? And he was out for the season. It was really sad. J.R. Smith is just kind of like the booker of the Knicks.
How do you say his name? Iman
Shumpert. Amen. Down here in the Bible Belt, it's Amen. Iman. Yeah, he's got that fro. He's got that pick.
What's that called? High top?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Looks like Will. I remember a cartoon. No, a cartoon, and the lead guy was Will, and he was like a black kid. Maybe it was Hey Arnold.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was it? Yeah. So yeah, we need a guy like that. So I think these trades are going to work well for Cavs, and of course the Cavs are in the stupid bloody East Conference. So I think they're going to be fine and they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to win because just look at the history. First year in Miami, LeBron could not pull these people together to win a championship, especially against the Wild West. This year, the West is just insane. And, I mean, the East isn't that bad either. I mean, you've got surprise teams like Raptors, Washington, Atlanta. I don't think these guys are going to get past them this year. But next year, I think they're a number 1 contender. So, that's my take on it. And so, they're making moves. But see, I want to get your take on this because I like trading now for results now. If I win a championship now, I get money, which will give me more leeway for more results later. Many people like the route of, okay, let's scroll down. His face was scaring me. Many people like the other route of trading people away for draft picks or losing to get a higher chance at getting the number 1 pick.
Get a bigger guy for
right.
One, yeah.
So, what is your strategy? If you're the GM of the Jazz right now, we are 13 and 24, I think right now. So 13 and 24, and right now in the season you go, okay, I can make a trade. We got a lot of injured players. We can trade some of them off for people who are going to play and who are willing to play. Boston's making a lot of moves. They might be interested. What do you do? If any deal was available to you, and you could work it out within cap space, because I don't know those specifics, and within contract reasons, would you make a deal to get a championship team this year, a possible contender, or would you wait till next year and just play the season out?
What are the contracts? Is it just for the end of the season, and then I have to worry about?
Well, I don't know those specifics, but okay. So, for instance, Alec Burks we've signed just now to a 4-year contract, so we can't trade him. We could trade Cantor and let's say Exum for I know, but and this probably doesn't work because of cap space and stuff. But I don't have those specifics, and I'm not good at math, especially on the spot. So say we trade them for like Carmelo Anthony or any all-star player who's going to get a job done. Mm-hmm. Would you do that to maybe be a contender this season and come
lose
back?
Him the next season? No.
Right, and maybe lose him next season.
Probably not.
And at this point in the season, I say no. It's probably best to just let it go, let it ride. But I see no issues with getting rid of some of these people. The problem with the Jazz is their lack of general manager sense. See, because I see all these teams, these winning teams making trades. Houston picks up Josh Smith from Detroit. That happened. Oklahoma City trades away some of their picks and they pick up Dion Waiters. That happened. I think they gave away... Did they give somebody away?
I can't remember who, but yes, they did.
Yeah, I remember they did. So then you got Mozgov moving. Denver was making a lot of moves early in the season. Now they're doing it again. And then you have got Cavs doing it. Boston is moving a lot of people now. Like, people are moving right before the All-Star, which is kind of how that works, to make a team to push for the playoffs. And the Jazz just never do that. We always pick Europeans or international people like Exum from Australia. We pick up Ingles from Australia. We bring in Gobert last year from France. Like, we bring in all of these international people. We train them, build them, and then we ship them off. Former Jazz players right now, people. Millsap, Damari Carroll, Junkyard Dog, both on Atlanta Hawks, top of the East. CJ Miles for the Cavaliers. And the list goes on and on. Al Jefferson is crushing it down in Charlotte. And I think Mo Williams is on that team as well. If not Mo Williams, it was one of the other guards we had. Darren Williams, so we just let he has a broken rib, bastard. So once again, I think this is the third consecutive week that I've had a player of mine go down. And I might have to do something about that. I think a broken rib is like a month out, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know either, but I'm thinking wrestling knowledge puts it at a month. So, yeah, so there's a lot of things going on right now in the NBA. A lot of moves being made. And if it were me and if I were a GM, I'd be trying to make those moves. But that's just me, and I think the Jazz are fickle and weak.
Yep.
Yeah. We don't care. We make money. It doesn't matter to Utah.
Obviously not. There's a lot of green seats in the audience. So fans are losing interest.
Well, I don't think that's true, though. I think that we make enough. I don't think our goal is to... I think we make well enough to sign, like, hey, we're due a 4-year contract. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like... we're probably not making as much money as we did with Malone and Stockton, but
not even with, like,
we are
Williams
probably...
and Jefferson.
But we are probably content with, we'll just hang it out. And this is another thing I want to say.
3 games for $50
is
now.
Look at this. This is the 8th spot here, Phoenix. And they're up 5 games, 22-17. That's even in New Orleans. Even in the East is, I think, Cleveland. No, that's not right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so 6, 7, 8. So look at the 8th spot. They're 15-21. They're a losing team, and they're going to make the playoffs.
That's not accurate. 13-24. I just looked it up.
Yeah, 13-24 is accurate as of now, tonight, I think. Or are we 13-25?
Oh, yeah, it is 13-24.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, So now it's time for Streakers while we've got this up. This is a fun little thing to come and look at, especially when you've got huge losers in Minnesota and New York. So let's go with the losers of the East. New York Knicks have not played and won a game in 14 games. I think the last time they won a game is in November, if I remember that right. That's a long time. How upset are you if you're... What's
Coach
that
get fired?
Derek Fisher? That jerk, Derek Fisher.
I'm doing it for my daughter.
Yeah,
and the money.
We won't get into that. We'll come off as bitter. But I've said it before, but we'll... So at home, they've gone 0-10 for the last 10. Road, they've lost 10. Lost 11 at home. That's horrible. That is horrible. And then... Here we go. Here's Streakers as well. I had Detroit because they did win like 6 or 7 games in a row. They lost one now, but when I wrote up the notes, they were winning. So they've kind of gained up. They're moving up the ranks. They're 12-24 without Josh Smith now, and they're moving up. Look how many games behind. How many games behind are they? It doesn't have it on this, does it? But let's see. Miami 15 or 16. Yeah, 15-21. So Detroit only has to win like 3 games, and they're in the playoffs. And they were the worst. They were a horrible team. And so, like, that's how crazy the East is. You could be a losing team and just get into the playoffs and luck out.
Sure, they have to win 3, but the other teams have to lose 3 as well. Like Miami can't win.
Yeah. Miami's kind of a disappointment, and they're kind of being beat up all year. They're injuring each other. Wade and Bosch.
Where'd you go?
Poor Bosch is getting crushed. So, and then in the West, we've got Minnesota. I said this last week. I have a soft spot for the Timberwolves because they're wolves. They've always been my favorite logo, like the Timberwolves logo. I've always liked them. Whenever I play NBA, I choose the Timberwolves because it's a cool arena. I like Minnesota's like the nice plays. I love the Timberwolves, but they just kind of suck, you know. But as I said, they're 0-10 right now. I said this last week.
On the road.
Mid-January, they get Rubio back. They get some of their other players back. They get bad guy Nikola Pekovic back. And they're going to start winning games again.
Mm-hmm.
And they might overtake the Lakers. That's what I said. So, I mean, Kevin Love jumped ship there. And that is the Titanic, the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that's a shame. So Streakers kind of give like a pat on the back to Detroit because they did win like 6 games in a row or something after Smith left. Winning streak in the East. Atlanta, they've won 7 in a row. They've taken the lead from Washington right now, and Chicago, and Toronto, and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's up there? What the hell? I hate the East, man. I hate the East so much. Who's on Milwaukee now that Parker's out? Who do you remember? I can't name one guy except for maybe a Antetokounmpo. Because his name is so funny. Antetokounmpo and...
This is just making us look down.
Rudy Gay?
No.
I don't remember. Paul George? No, he's not on there. Paul George, I think, is on the Golden State. No, Paul George? I don't know. Anyway, Atlanta winning 7, and they're now on the top of the Eastern Division, which is really nice. That's really cool, because I really like Atlanta. And their racist owner might have a little luck if he's out. It didn't really say in that article if he was out or not. He just said he took a leave of absence. But 28-8 is awesome, and I love seeing DeMare Carroll.
O.J. Mayo,
the other one. Yeah, so he's the one we forgot. We got Rudy Gay and Paul George, and O.J. Mayo was the other one. So Atlanta. Where is Memphis? Memphis is in the West? Oh, it is. There it is. Okay, so Memphis is in the West. They've got Zach Randolph back, so hopefully that loss of 2 will be going up. Oh, hopefully. We'll see. Let's see. Win streak of 5 for Golden State. That's nice. They got Bogut back, so let's see if they can keep the win streak going. I said last week that Bogut coming back might throw them off because they're doing fine without him. Mm-hmm. So why not let that keep going and give him a couple more days off, right?
Well, 5 win streaks and 28-5, that's why.
Yeah. I don't know.
They have a 13 win streak at home.
I don't think they need Bogut. They can probably trade him away for some other big man who doesn't,
Look at that. Their win streak, their highest win streak they ever had was 16
this season. That's correct. Only, yeah. Correct. No, yeah, still. I'm just saying. They probably have a higher one in history. But
They're
16
the highest.
in a row.
They're the only ones in double digits throughout the whole conference.
That was when they were like 21-3 or something like that. It was crazy. It was insane. So yeah, awesome.
They haven't lost yet at home. 10-0.
Almost more impressive. Did you see that? Philly. Loss of 17. That was when they were going to break their streak.
Oh, that's right.
We were cheering for them to lose that night, and they won the game. And I was so angry and upset. Alright. So, here we go. Let's go to Jesters and Royals. Let's see. Jesters. Bad things that happened. Bad things that happened. Bad things that happened.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Jesters are bad things. So, anything in the NBA, bad things that happened. I'm going to go... number 1 goes to Darren Williams for screwing up my fantasy league this week. Every week I get screwed over in my fantasy league. It's been the 3rd week in a row.
Chicago Bulls lost to the Utah Jazz by 20 points. That's pretty sad.
That can count as both, though, because we're Jazz fans.
They're number 3. They're number 3 in the East.
Yeah, but we always beat the big teams, right? Well, except for Oklahoma City, but they don't really count right now, do they? They're down in the 9th or 10th spot right now. So I guess Darren Williams would be my number 1. We can give it to Derrick Rose for not hitting a shot in that Jazz game.
1.
And then the 3rd, I don't know, something. Let's give it to New York again for the 3rd week in a row for being scrubs and not winning a game in the past week because they're 5-34, and that's one of the worst records I've ever seen in my life. And it was fun. I was watching Inside the NBA. And Chuck was like, if I have to watch the Lakers versus New York, I'm going to quit. I'm putting my foot down. and so they're like, Chuck, guess what? March 31st, New York versus LA. He's like, oh, hell. And he's like, but you're in luck. We might be on March Madness duty. He's like, oh, thank God. And I was like, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to watch that garbage either. That's horrible. That would be like...
It would almost be like Utah versus New York.
Yeah, well...
Look at it, we're only 2 points.
But Utah's exciting. Have you watched the Lakers play a game this season?
I love watching Black Mamba
try and fail because his teammates are horrible. It's sad.
He's doing really bad too.
He is too, but it is so sad because you remember when he crushed us and was Black Mamba. Like someone throwing a ball in his face and him not flinching and then hitting like a dunk after. Like that's badass. And now he's like one of those warriors of fame and old that just ends up losing.
Yeah, I can't remember the stat exactly, but he had an amazingly high stat for turnovers in one game.
Oh.
Remember what it was?
No, I don't remember what it was. Go to his stat and go to his turnovers per game, and we'll look at his turnovers per game. And then you can go into each game, and you'll probably find it pretty quickly. But yeah, it's just really sad. Like, I feel bad for Mamba because, yeah, he was our greatest enemy as a Jazz organization. But on the other hand, I do not feel bad for Carmelo Anthony or Derek Fisher. I don't feel bad for them. I don't really care.
Ooh.
What is his turnovers per game?
He is, it says Bryant can also find perspective in the turnover list as well, where he is currently 7th with 3,776 turnovers in his career.
What a record. So in the middle of the game, when he gets to number 1 in turnovers, are they going to stop the game and start applauding as well? Because I saw that and I was like, oh, what a great moment. But they never do that for the negatives.
Go for Carl. Thanks, MJ. You can't touch Carl alone.
All right, let's finish it up with the Royals. These are awesome things that you saw during the week, and I've got 2 already from just the Jazz alone. And then the top one I'm going to give to it. I'm going to give the first Royal to Atlanta. 7-win streak. It's Millsap and Carroll, Junkyard Dog, and people getting mill-slapped in Atlanta. I love it. I love seeing old Jazz people succeed, except for Boozer and Jefferson. I don't really like them,
I like when they succeed on our court.
Oh, against us?
No, with us.
Okay. Yeah, beat us.
I love watching them. Whoa, she's my favorite as a Jazz fan.
So he gets my first Royal. Second Royal, Rudy Gobert. Oh. If you haven't heard of this guy,
YouTube it.
Yeah, the Brow Davis, get him out of your head because he's done. He's gone. We've got we've got him, but plus some. right?
Yeah,
He's going to be a great player next year.
Gobert's throwing up 30 points a game.
I know, but I'm just saying that matchup is going to be a key matchup within the next month. If they play, do they play within the next month?
The thing is, Davis, he is way faster. But I love Rudy, right? Well, let's not tear down. Rudy is great. Today he got 7 blocks in his game. He is exciting to watch. He's a fast for 7-foot man. He could be big news. Could be. That's what I don't like. Is everything is could be. Excellent.
Yeah.
Could be. Rudy could be.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Hayward
could
should be.
It could. See, the thing I see in Rudy Gobert is that he could be the next Yao Ming.
Could be. Dang it! There's a word again. If.
But this is a bad could be. Yao Ming, where you sign him to 4 years and he doesn't play a day and he goes. His jersey's retired.
I'm going back to France.
I won you one championship. Did they win a championship with Yao?
No.
I think they did win one with Yao Ming, but we
Olympics,
do play Davis in exactly 1 month on the 9th, next February 9th. So in 1 month, I will let you eat your words, sir. When Davis gets in the lane of Gobert and gets stifled,
I hope he does.
Stifled.
I hope he does.
Because I would love to see that matchup every single year. Just like I love seeing Booker guard Blake Griffin. Because that's such a great rivalry to watch. So there we go. That's the second Royal. Royal number 3 just happened like 3 hours ago. You need to see this. If you haven't seen this, you're insane. Okay, so inbound shot, what was it, 0.2 seconds?
Okay. Shot clock.
0.2 seconds. To get the ball and shoot the shot, it's like 0.3. You have to have at least like 0.3. So very impossible. So here's what they do.
Until today.
You saw it here in Utah. No, in Oklahoma City. Against Utah. Hayward passes in and Booker hits like a volleyball, like you would hit with a volleyball, hits it up and it goes into the hoop. It is impeccable. You've seen this. If you haven't seen this, you don't watch basketball. So it was impressive. If you haven't seen it by now, go watch it.
Top 10, number 1, it'll be there.
It's puzzling how that even worked. And I said that it's a 1 in 1,000 shot. Absolutely. You can do that 1,000 times, like those YouTubers who do those crazy trick shots. Oh, I'm on top of a roller coaster. It's like, oh, he made it. Whoa, that's crazy. It's like, yeah, but you edited out the other 999 tries. So that's what this was. 1 in 199 tries or whatever.
I don't think he took 999 shots ever of
but
that shot.
If he were to do that, he would miss it 999 times before he hit it again. That's my statistic that I just made up right now.
I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say he's never, ever tried that shot, so now he's 1 for 1, 100%.
Oh. I'm usually the one who goes, I'm 100% good at that shot. I can hit that shot when like Monopoly. I'm undefeated still.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we should probably record Monopoly next.
Oh, boy.
Prove that to you. So anyway, there you go. There's your Jesters and Royals. I wasn't prepared for the Jesters and Royals. I thought I had written them down, but I guess not. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's a long show. But that's good, because I needed longer shows for my long...
Holy, 40 minutes.
Yeah, it went by like that, didn't it?
Thank you for enduring.
When you talk about NBA, we're talking about sports, it's fun. So it just flies by. And this is what happened last week, too. I talked forever, and I just let it go.
Just you yourself?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why do you go on this channel? I'm talking to the subscribers.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's my channel.
What are you doing? Hit the red X. What are you doing?
This is like my practice arena for if I ever do get a job on SportsCenter. You know what I mean? As a morning show, I want to get good segments like STREAKERZ. I really like, because it's nice. So this is just my practice. I really don't care if this succeeds or fails, but it is my practice, and people.
He does care, actually. He wants you. Subscribe.
Well, yeah, go. I love you to support this. Go tell your friends to listen to me talk about basketball unprofessionally for a half an hour, 45 minutes.
With a heavy Utah president.
With a heavy Utah president. And I think it's precedent.
No. Prejudice.
Oh, prejudice works too.
Yeah, jeez.
So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed my career mode in the background of the monster playthrough, where it just seems like I lose by 1 or 2 points every single game.
Hey, you look like a Utah Jazz.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels horrible.
Oh well.
I don't even want to talk about it. Something probably horrible happened in the background too, so hopefully you're paying attention. If not, doesn't really matter. You were at least paying attention to one of the two things. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this YouCast. YouCast is my word. I invented that. No one's come up with it yet, weirdly enough. And that being said, Derek D, Ginger King, and Titan Depressed Panda.
I'm not depressed anymore. I'm clearly happy. I haven't been depressed the whole time.
Now, no long... Okay, the artist formerly known as Titan Panda. Now, the artist formerly known as Depressed Bitter Panda. Just Titan Panda again. Checking out. Thank you for watching.